Hello friends, hope you are doing well. It has been a while since I posted a long version of painting process video. I have been posting plenty of shorter versions, and the reason why is the shorter version is much easier to do. I can just paste and edit everything on my phone and upload the video. The longer version takes a little time, but here we go. This is a painting process of Heirloom Rose. The rose is based on David Austin Evelyn roses that I grow in my backyard. These are my very favorite rose, and they're very easy to grow. So what I do is the intention is to make the rose look three-dimensional on paper. Of course, there are many different styles that you can use. Here I just happen to decide to make the rose look three-dimensional. So I imagine a light source coming from upper right, and you can simplify, just squint your eyes, imagine the rose is a ball, roughly a ball-shaped object, and then when the main source hit directly hit the area that's directly hit by the light, it would be the lightest, and then the areas, you know what I mean, when you just treat it as if you're painting a ball or an egg, like I demonstrated in my previous videos of how to paint an egg. That would be in my opinion, the fundamentals of trying to render a object, make it appear three-dimensional on 2D surface. So if you forget about or if you want to refresh about what I said of those basic rules, please check out my earlier video of how to paint an egg. That was, I believe, the first or second video that I have ever made. Yeah, just imagine rose as an egg with petals, but the rough shape is a ball shape, roughly. And yeah, there's a color variations. The center is more, the color in the center of the flower is darker pink, and then as the petal open up, gets a little bit older, it gets paler, the color gets duller. But the new growth, the petals in the center is the color is more saturated. Other than that, the form is again roughly a ball-shaped form. Please keep it in mind, if that's the type of the three-dimensional look is what you would like to achieve, it's very important to keep that ball shape in mind when you render the rose. Again, I'm not saying that's the only way to paint rose. It's one of the way. Also, I'm using hot pressed watercolor paper. It allows me to achieve a little bit finer detail, and the brush I'm using, as you can see here, it's, believe it or not, is a brush that I used when I was little to practice Chinese calligraphy. It's a very old brush, but in terms of actual cost, it's probably cost a few cents. Even with inflation, it's probably going to cost $1 or $2 in China today. It says Laural. It means it's wolf hair. I don't know if it's really wolf hair, but it is kind of stiff. And still bounces back really well, holds its holds the point, the tip. Doesn't yet the tip is not that pointy, so the edge is not that sharp. Also holds quite a bit of water. That's what I like about it. At this early stage, I don't want to use a brush with too sharp of a point. And also, yeah, to have something look sharp, you have to have very rough edges here and there in order to make the sharp look really sharp. It's all relative. What else is different? Unlike watercolor is very transparent, so don't be afraid of using colors that traditionally would look muddy when you use acrylic or gouache or oil, because the nature of the paint, it's not going to look muddy. And besides, you need some dull colors in order to make the saturated ones look clean and fresh. If everything is fresh and bright, nothing will pop. It's all about contrast, and it's all relative. You want something dark in order to have the light area appear light. And I can't believe I'm doing it so slowly, but that's the actual speed. I think. I don't think I have slowed it down, but this is the actual speed. It is slow. What else I can so this is Arch 90-pound hot pressed watercolor paper. The reason why I'm using 90-pound instead of 140-pound is because this painting itself is quite small. It's 5.5 inches times 7.5 inches. When it's this small, it's okay to use thinner watercolor because it's a lot cheaper than the thicker ones. If it's bigger, I would use the thicker ones, so that after you use a lot of water, the surface will be will stay pretty even. So this is 90-pound, and I believe Arch has come up with bleach or bright white watercolor paper, but this is traditional white. It's not that bright white, which is fine for the kind of effect I would like to achieve. I did not do a pencil sketch on this one because the composition is relatively simple. In the center of the attention is just one single rose, so I don't need to sketch it out with pencil first. Besides, I have painted this type of flower many times before. I know the structure by heart, and this is the kind of look that I have done before. It's not something new that I'm trying to experiment, trying to achieve. Yeah, I should challenge myself. I do challenge myself constantly by experimenting with new composition, new medium, new technique. I challenge myself all the time, but this is not very challenging. I have done this before, especially years ago when I was working as a textile designer in Manhattan. even today you can still see quite a bit of my textile designs. Of lots of floral patterns, but these are mostly quilting fabrics. If you guys are into quilting, please check out my quilting fabrics. They're produced by Mary Fab in Los Angeles under the brand name Wellington Fabrics. Great quality, 100% cotton. And here I am painting the leaves. I'm using the colors that's with just a hint of green. It's almost beige with a hint of sage accent as leaves. Also, the leaves will have minimal detail and very little contrast, so that they are secondary to the rose, so the rose can stand out. Yeah, check out Wilmington Fabric, quilting fabric, under my name, DANHUINAI, Dan Huinai. Really, really beautifully printed with a lot of fine details for quilting. Great quality cotton quilting fabric. And if you guys have any questions in terms of how to achieve this type of look, any questions, just leave a comment or go to my channel, click under discussion. You can make any comments, post questions, share your creations, and I will respond as soon as possible. And I would really appreciate your comment and enjoy your comments and interactions, and would really appreciate if you learn something. Please kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you again for watching, and thank you for your support. See you next time.